consolidated the non-Jat vote. But can that model be replicated in Maharashtra? Can the vote apart from the Maratha community come all together and be consolidated in favor of the NDA? Well, at least that's the plan of the Mahayuti. Reaching out to OBCs, Maharashtra BJP is trying to use the Maratha versus OBC polarization to its advantage. And many steps have been taken in that regard. I'll take you through that in just a bit. Now, many would say it's an apples versus oranges comparison, but we'll try and put that in perspective for you. There are as many as 351 OBC communities in the state of Maharashtra. They account for about 52% of the state's population. Of these, there are 291 communities that fall under the central OBC list. Now, the National Commission for Backward Classes just a few days ago recommended the inclusion of 7 Maharashtra communities in the central list of OBCs. And this development could send a message to the electorally crucial OBC group. Because this demand has been made by successive state governments in Maharashtra, but so far it has remained on the back burner. Now in Maharashtra, the Maratha community holds big sway. The Saffron Party is facing some sort of pushback from the Marathas, especially over the reservation issue. Activist Jarange led the Maratha agitation over this reservation, and that has created some sort of unrest in the community against the BJP specifically, not the Mahayuti as such, but it's seen as one of those key reasons behind the party's performance in the Lok Sabha elections that just went by. Here's how the Mahayuti in Maharashtra is reaching out to OBCs. There are multiple steps that have been taken. First, of course, is that meetings were held with OBC community leaders. Assurances came to the fore on a caste-based census as well. The minister also vowed a hike in scholarships for OBC students. Deputy Chief Minister of the state, Devendra Fadnavis, reached out to backward class students. He helped 75 students get foreign scholarships. What they've also done is that 100% fellowship has now been announced for OBC research scholars. This benefits OBC, nomadic tribes and Vimukta Jati, the SBC as well. Just recently, the state government proposed the income limit increase for non-creamy layer. They want the hike to be made up to 15 lakh rupees, and this is now a proposal that sits on the desk of the central government. Whether the central government bites that bullet or not, but the cabinet has decided to clear it in a clear messaging that they want to send ahead of the state elections. So this OBC Dalit formula that they applied in Haryana and that worked for them, can they replicate that in Maharashtra? Can the NDA in Maharashtra consolidate and conquer this state as well? We decode.
उद्धव जी की हालत अभी ऐसी स्थिति है कि वो शोले पिक्चर में था जेलर, आधे इधर आधे उधर, मेरे साथ कोई नहीं।
एनसीपी और शिवसेना में कोई ज़्यादा मतभेद नहीं है, कांग्रेस में भी नहीं, समझ लो कि कुछ सीटें हैं जिनके ऊपर सभी 3 पार्टी दावा करती हैं।
Let's open this up. Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, Matthew Antony, spokesperson of the Congress, and election strategist Amitabh Tiwari joins us on this broadcast. Matthew Antony, let me begin by asking you. You know, we saw what happened for the Congress in Haryana, and most recently we saw OBC face, a prominent one, quit the party, claiming harassment and shabby treatment. Kumari Shailja in the past also has made similar allegations. Do you think this is something that could hurt the Congress in elections to come as well, and Maharashtra being the closest one?
Ajit Yadav has got his own reasons. However, with respect to the reservations in Maharashtra, I would like to say that our leader Rahul Gandhi has made the caste census as a priority of the party, and the 2 states in which we are ruling, Karnataka and Telangana, we have initiated the procedure on that one. And you can see our commitment towards the cause which we have been championing for some time. And Because if the political will in the BJP was there, then why did they wait till the nth moment to do all these things for the scheduled caste or the reservations for the Maratha community as well as to any other particular community on that one? Then why did the Dhankar community leave the NDA alliance today? If the Mahayuti has done all sort of things like this, then why did the Dhankar in 35 to 40 assembly seats with 1.5 crores of population, why did they leave the Mahayuti alliance if the commitment was there? They don't see that commitment. They see it only as a hogwash. That's exactly why we are saying that we don't see much of a problem because we're committed to the cause of this one, and we will implement the caste census survey as soon as we come into the power in the state of Maharashtra.
Rohan Gupta, there is a bid to consolidate the OBC, the Dalit vote as far as Maharashtra is concerned. The BJP managed to do that in Haryana. The Jats, which were seen to be as majority there, are seen to vote for the Congress party, which is why the BJP decided to consolidate everything else. Is that a pattern that we are seeing as far as Maharashtra goes, that the Marathas seem to have some issue or some resentment towards the BJP, specifically since the Maratha agitation that we've seen through its ups and downs? So the BJP and the Mahayuti has decided that we should consolidate everybody else in the state, which is why we're seeing these kind of measures.
Poonam, I think this consolidation or division politics of opposition has completely failed. And I think Haryana is the best example. Now you are talking about Jat, non-Jat consolidation in Haryana. Out of 25 Jat-dominated seats, BJP has won 13. So I think the opposition strategy of, mobilization or appeasement of minority, consolidation of minority vote, and division of majority vote, I think this has completely failed in Haryana. Where it is Jat or Dalit or anybody, BJP has won. So I think now it is a politics of performance. These tactics are not going to work. If opposition was serious on the caste census, they could have done it in Karnataka, where their government is more than 1.5 years. They have not done anything. So I think country has seen, and Haryana has given the befitting reply. They gave some confidence to Congress party in the Lok Sabha elections. They felt that in name of some people. It is the senior leader in form of Shelja or Mr. Yadav, that was the treatment of OBC leaders and Dalit leaders in Congress party. How can people trust? If your senior leaders are in situation, people of the country cannot trust. And Haryana, where Congress was overconfident, they were arrogant, people have given befitting reply. So I think that the country is changing. It's not about the caste. It is about the work. It is about the delivery. It is about uniting the people. And it is against the appeasement politics. On all counts, opposition parties are completely failing. And the country is giving new mandate. That's why they are now questioning EVM. They don't trust people. That's why they are questioning EVM. So they need to understand
why do we see these kind of decisions that are taken by the state government in Maharashtra, which are seen to be more pro-OBCs, more pro-Dalits than any other community? And all of this is happening in the last 4 to 5 months.
Poonam, according to me, it's not about doing for some particular caste or something. It is doing for everybody. There are many states which are taken for OBC, for Dalits, for Maratha. So why you are seeing it in isolation? It is if government is doing everything for everybody, what is wrong in that? What is wrong in that? There is nothing wrong. It is a responsibility of government to deliver the promises. It is about Congress party or the opposition alliance, which are now completely shattered because they don't know what direction to go. Today they are questioning this move. The government will come out with something. They will question something else. It's all about delivery. If any government can repeat themselves third time, it is only BJP. It is in Haryana. You tell me last time which government, opposition government could repeat themselves at state level. You remember it. So it's about delivery. You can. I am telling you, I was at Haryana, Poonam. Message is very clear. It is all community. Everybody wants to work together. There are no divisions of caste. People hate appeasement on ground. You need to deliver. Even in minorities, you have to deliver on ground. Whether Ayushman Bharat or all these schemes, minority friends are taking benefit of that. They are not bothered about the sentiments which are created by opposition parties in name of work. Above all these things, is moving fast. All Indians are together, and any kind of divisive politics by anybody, people are not going to tolerate that.
Sure, performance wins is what the BJP and the NDA believes. Amitabh Tiwari is with us on this broadcast as well. But Matthew Antony, I see your hand going up. Quick rebuttal before I get in Mr. Tiwari as well.
Yeah, I just want to clarify to Rohan that the Karnataka government has already done the survey for the entire 7 crores Kannadigas, and that is also the caste census survey, which is going to be presented to the cabinet, and the cabinet will take the appropriate decision. With respect to what is there for the minority appeasement, BJP has always been accusing Congress of minority appeasement. Then why did BJP did the madrasa teacher's salary increase in the state of Maharashtra? Will you be doing it in the state of Gujarat, Rohan? Will you be doing it in the state of UP? Will you be doing it in the state of other states? Why is this minority appeasement from you after calling us out, for minority appeasement?
Poonam, I'll give a very short answer to
Before,
that.
just before you come in, as far as the caste survey is concerned in Karnataka, Matthew Antony, you would also concede to the fact that there have been flip-flops within the Congress party itself, or whether it should be made public or not, and what should be done with it.
Absolutely.
So if you're accusing the BJP of taking decisions that are termed as political gimmicks, you could be at the receiving end of the same criticism. Yeah. But anyway, Rohan Gupta, yes, go ahead.
Very short rebuttal. See, doing something for Muslim is appeasement? No. Dividing between Hindu and that is appeasement. Why you are saying that madrasa salaries cannot be increased? No, they have the right. We will do that. If there is if there is a mismatch, let me complete. If there is a mismatch and economically the government will have to do something, they will do it. They don't bifurcate between Hindus and Muslims when people go for Ayushman Bharat. They don't bifurcate. They don't divide Hindus and Muslims. Then they go for Ujjwala scheme. They don't divide Hindus and Muslims for taking any central government or state government benefit. It is the opposition party. So doing something for Muslim is not appeasement. Making Muslim, bhadkawing Muslim name of bill is appeasement. You are saying Muslims that if BJP will come to power, this will happen. Nothing will happen. Muslims who are in mainstream, they are definitely going to be part of the growth story. It is the opposition parties who are creating this kind of issues in minds of people. You could not stop appeasement. That's why you have started the division of people.
You have elections right now. You are doing this in
division of Hindus.
Will you do this in
there
Gujarat?
are two things. No, absolutely not.
Will you do
One
this in
side
other states where the Muslims are backward?
And
will you do this in Assam?
Division of Hindus. This strategy is not going to work. The country has moved forward. You can question the government for anything. This government is for everybody, for every citizen of Maharashtra, and they will do whatever possible for the citizen.
Then why did you withhold?
And Haryana is given
why
the
did you withhold this decision till the nth moment of the election to be announced?
Absolutely, it is a government say. Absolutely, no, it is withholding.
Till the end moment of the election.
Either you are unhappy that this is done, or you are unhappy with the timing. It is up to opposition party.
We are not unhappy. We actually compliment that. But then why it is not being done in other states?
For the
Why it was
citizens
not
of the
done
country,
earlier?
for the citizens of the state. Whether it is Dalit, whether it is Muslim, whether it is OBC,
we will not calling out Congress for appeasement of minorities,
that the benefit of government schemes.
Now, when you have done that, you are saying that you are holier than cow.
There won't be division of Hindus. There won't be division of anybody. Everybody.
Okay, gentlemen. Okay, gentlemen. Let me come in here. Okay, these allegations about whether this is a political gimmick or whether it's an actual promise that can be delivered is an allegation that will fly from both sides, and both parties or both alliances in this case could be at the receiving end of that criticism. But Amitabh Tiwari, as far as Maharashtra is concerned, the dynamics of Maharashtra and Haryana are not the same. What the BJP managed to do in Haryana to consolidate the votes outside of the Jat community, can that equivalence be drawn as far as Maharashtra goes, assuming that we compare the Marathas to the Jats in Haryana?
So see, essentially, as you rightly said, Maharashtra is a very big state. It's like 4 to 5 Haryanas into one. And it's also a very complex state because there are 6 regions and all the regions have different political dynamics and demographics. That's why it is a very, very complex state to decipher for any political pundit or even a politician. Now, but there is one thing common across India, including Haryana or Maharashtra, is that there is always some discontent against influential communities. And you just have to fire it to actually do some sort of a consultation. Correct. So what BJP is trying to do is that if they paid the price for the Maratha agitation in the Lok Sabha, if you see, they lost heavily in Marathwada, Vidarbha, as well as the Western Maharashtra. They attempted to do an OBC consolidation which failed because the Dalits even consolidated behind the Congress party led MVA. If you see where the BJP or the Mahayuti has done badly, the population of Dalits is fairly high, which is Vidarbha, Marathwada, and Western Maharashtra. So now BJP has implemented many schemes, as you are showing, including raising the OBC layer, OBC creamy layer cap. It hopes that the OBC community consolidates behind the party on the back of these schemes, and of course the larger umbrella Ladki Behan scheme, which could cut across caste lines, because there is a complex interplay of caste and class. I mean, you could be an OBC, but if you belong to a rich class, you could have different voting preference. But if you are a Dalit and you are from a poor or a lower socioeconomic background, you do keep in mind that you are a beneficiary of various schemes. So what do you do? So it is a fairly complex choice for the voters, and it's going to be a very seat-by-seat election in that sense.
But in terms of who the faces are that are being projected as well, you know, as far as Haryana went, they had an OBC face that was being projected, who was the incumbent chief minister, who was being projected as the one who would return if the BJP returned to power, which is exactly what happened. As far as the state of Maharashtra goes, Amitabh Tiwari, in that sense, in the sense of projecting a face that would appeal to these communities, do you then think that the Aghadi has an edge over the Mahayuti?
No, essentially the dilemma of the Mahayuti is that of the top 3 people, 2 are from the Maratha community, and the Maratha community is angry, and they have a Brahmin deputy CM, and they do not have a big OBC face. Of course, Pankaja Munde is there and they have Chhagan Bhujbal from the NCP side. From the MVA side, you could have leaders like Nana Patole, etc., who could be from that community and could appeal to that community. So face wise, they could have faces, MVA could have bigger faces, but it's all going to boil down to the fact that in specific regions, which faces or which parties are against each other, and their faces would matter then. Like in Western Maharashtra, it will be largely Pawar versus Pawar. Any other face would not matter much. In Mumbai and Thane Konkan region, it will be Uddhav Thackeray versus Eknath Shinde. No other faces matter. And in Vidarbha and Marathwada, it will be largely Congress versus BJP. So it's also region-wise faces which become fairly important.
So region-wise, we could see different dynamics play out. But Matthew Antony, as far as the Aghadi is concerned, the alliance of the opposition is concerned, many believe that the Congress is now having to play second fiddle. We are seeing the kind of dynamics that's being played out as far as seat sharing goes as well. Both your alliance partners don't want to concede too many seats to you because there is doubts over the Congress's performance. At this time, do you think the Congress should pay heed from leaders that used to be their own about not neglecting certain communities?
Poonam, my answer to your question will be about showcasing the India Alliance. When India Alliance formation was coming out, the entire media was laughing out of it, making jokes out of it, not even willing to even call them as India Alliance. But it was the Congress party who took the larger role of stitching an alliance together to it by sacrificing a lot to make sure that we put up a good opposition front, which we did also, and we could make significant advances on it, if not we couldn't make the government part of it. So in the state of Maharashtra also, we are well aligned, we are well respected with mutual respect to all our coalition partners, and we will have a mutually acceptable formula for all the 3 of the major coalition partners and the rest of them also, and we will fight together. In fact, if you look into the parliament elections, it is the Congress party which had the highest strike rate to a large extent in the parliament elections, and the independent candidate also kind of joined us on that one. So we have absolutely nothing to be on a inferior state at this point of time in the state of Maharashtra, but we are neither going to play a superior stage because we are going to play a brotherly manner into the 3 main alliance partners, so that we stitch a good alliance, so that we become responsible for the people of Maharashtra to form the government. The entire performance of Maharashtra government is symbolically there with the fall of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj statue in the state of Maharashtra, which can showcase how exactly the performance of this government has formed, because the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is a very, very emotional factor for the entire state of Maharashtra. How can the government place so light on such a statue with corruption being involved in that one? That shows that one. And then the law and order of the state in Maharashtra, barring been four in the
बंद करना भाई तने कीधु एक बार
We'll try and reconnect that line with Matthew Anthony, but Rohan Gupta, as far as the Maratha community is concerned, yeah, I believe we have Mr. Anthony back. Yeah, go ahead. We lost your line there briefly. We'll try and reconnect that line with Matthew Anthony. But Rohan Gupta, as far as the Maratha community is concerned, there are at least two leaders in the alliance, in the government right now, that are from the community. And yet there seems to be some sort of backlash as far as the community goes. One is because of the agitation that was led by Jarange Patil. The other is this carving out of the Kunbi caste, the carving out of the OBC as a whole. That's not something that they wanted. Despite you having two tall leaders of the Maratha community in your government, we see the kind of discontentment against the BJP, against the NDA. Do you think that's something that you can overcome in the next 1 month before elections?
See, Poonam, first of all, I'd like to answer what Congress spokesperson spoke about India Alliance. You know, they had formed this alliance telling that Loktantra or the democracy is under threat. Aam Aadmi Party was part of the alliance. What happened? You have seen in Haryana, they have fought separately. So the reality of Indi Gadbandhan is exposed in front of the country. Aam Aadmi Party, which was with Congress during the Lok Sabha elections, they fought separately. Number one. Jammu Kashmir, where they fought in alliance, the Congress is not part of the government. So they are talking about the big brother thing, but where is the bargaining power? Jammu Kashmir, where Congress has won 12 seats last time, now they are at 6 seats. They have lost their vote share by 6%. So when you talk about big brother, at least you should have that bargaining power. And situation is changing every day.
Sure. But to be fair, the NDA has also had its fair share of troubles when it comes to seat sharing.
After Haryana, situation in ground has changed completely. Dalits who put some faith in Congress party in name of democracy or Samvidhan, they understood the reality. If a tall leader like Shelja, if she could feel this situation in Congress party, can they trust Congress party? No. And she was the tall leader. And I think
I get that. But the same comparison is being made with the BJP as well. That was my question to you. That the NDA has two tall Maratha leaders, and yet there is that discontentment between within the community for the BJP and for the NDA.
This government is sensitive government. The way this government government is performing, you will see, just let the time go. All the things, whatever things are there, will be resolved, because this government believes in doing everything for everybody. It's not about the divisive thing, right? If you do everything for everybody, it's a good thing. Whether it is one, my friend was giving example of Madarsa. Why not? Everybody should be part of the growth story. But the division politics which Congress is trying to pay or Gadbandhan is trying to pay, it is going to fail. All Marathi people are
not answering my question though, Rohan Gupta.
Definitely, I am saying that whatever resentments are there on ground, you will see that it will be resolved, whatever form it is. We are sensitive towards the needs of people. We are not insensitive. We are not arrogant. We are not overconfident. We understand that situation in ground is changing every day.
Sure.
That's why in Haryana, when there was an issue of Agniveer was there, when there was issue of farmers, we were sensitive.
Sure.
When we went to Haryana,
so the BJP may have course corrected some things as far as Haryana go. And Amitabh Tiwari, I want you to have the last word, but last 30 seconds because I don't have enough time on this. The BJP may have course corrected as far as Haryana went, which is why we saw the results that we did. Is course correction possible for the Congress party and for the Aghadi in Maharashtra?
The course correction is possible for both the alliances, and of course it's possible for MVA as well. However, then they lost some of the momentum which they had gathered in the Lok Sabha elections. I think by being in opposition, they should have been ready with the seat sharing, at least as of now. And though both the alliances are behind, MVA could have had a lead if they had finalized the seat sharing agreement and would have countered the government better in the past 6 months. Some sort of complacency does seem to have creeped in here as well.
Well, the BJP is definitely buoyed by what they saw in Haryana. Does that translate into Maharashtra? We'll find out sooner than later. November 23rd is when we'll find out what happens in Maharashtra. The government, there will be a new government, whether it changes or whether we see a return of the NDA, we'll find out. But on that note, I thank you gentlemen for joining us here on this edition and sharing your perspective. Time for a quick break here on Plain Speak, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with much more.
L'Oréal Group.
DNA מעביר למאגר משטרת ישראל, למאגר DNA. בשני המקרים אנחנו מוצאים התאמה ליחיא סינואר, ככה שיש לנו בעצם גם DNA, גם טביעת אצבע וגם שיניים של יחיא סינואר. כל הנתונים האלה מצויים בידי משטרת ישראל ובידי שב"ס, ולמעשה אנחנו משתמשים בנתונים קודמים על מנת להשוות.
שיהיה לכם דרך הצלחה ושאר כוח על הכל.
תודה, דרום אחד, רות הישר, יוצאים לדרך. טוב, אנחנו פה יוצאים למבצע שצריך להגיד, סגירת מעגל עם, שכולנו תקווה עם רב המרצחים שטבח בבני עמנו לפני כשנה בדיוק, בחג הסוכות, בכמה סימבולי, שלשמחתנו הרבה, לוחמינו האמיצים חיסלו אותו בעזה בחג הזה. אנחנו מכאן יוצאים למבצע שנקרא הקפה ראשונה. המבצע הוא בעצם ליווי, הבטחה של כוחותינו, שמירה ומבחינתנו מוכנות. כולנו פה שותפים למשימה לאומית וחשובה מאוד, ומכאן אנחנו יוצאים לדרך.
Today, the mastermind of this day of sheer evil is no more. Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages. Hamas is holding 101 hostages in Gaza who are citizens of 23 countries, citizens of Israel, but citizens of many other countries. Israel is committed to doing everything in our power to bring all of them home. And Israel will guarantee the safety of all those who return our hostages. But to those who would harm our hostages, I have another message. Israel will hunt you down and bring you to justice. The axis of terror that was built by Iran is collapsing before our eyes. Nasrallah is gone. His deputy Muhsin is gone. Haniyeh is gone. Def is gone. Sinwar is gone. The reign of terror that the Iranian regime has imposed on its own people and on the peoples of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, this too will come to an end. All those who seek a future of prosperity and peace in the Middle East should unite to build a better future. Together, we can push back the forces of darkness and create a future of light and hope for all of us.
האיש הזה תכנן, יזם, נתן פקודות, ביצע, ואני מניח שאם היינו משאירים אותו בחיים, הוא היה עושה את זה גם קדימה. אנחנו קצת...
Putting Bharat's interests first, always. Incisive and unbiased news stories every single day.
Razor sharp and factual news stories from beginning to end.
Your favorite news shows at brand new times.
DNA מעביר למאגר משטרת ישראל, למאגר DNA. בשני המקרים אנחנו מוצאים התאמה ליחיא סינואר, ככה שיש לנו בעצם גם DNA, גם טביעת אצבע וגם שיניים שליחי סינואר. כל הנתונים האלה מצויים בידי משטרת ישראל ובידי שב"ס, ולמעשה אנחנו משתמשים בנתונים קודמים על מנת להשוות.
שיהיה לכם דרך הצלחה ויישר כוח על הכל.
תודה, דרום אחד, רות הישר, יוצאים לדרך. טוב, אנחנו פה יוצאים למבצע שצריך להגיד, סגירת מעגל עם, שכולנו תקווה עם רב המרצחים שטבח בבני עמנו לפני כשנה בדיוק, בחג הסוכות, בכמה סימבולי, שלשמחתנו הרבה, לוחמינו האמיצים חיסלו אותו בעזה בחג הזה. אנחנו מכאן יוצאים למבצע שנקרא הקפה ראשונה. המבצע הוא בעצם ליווי, הבטחה של כוחותינו, שמירה ומבחינתנו מוכנות. כולנו פה שותפים למשימה לאומית וחשובה מאוד, ומכאן אנחנו יוצאים לדרך.
Today, the mastermind of this day of sheer evil is no more. Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages. Hamas is holding 101 hostages in Gaza who are citizens of 23 countries, citizens of Israel, but citizens of many other countries. Israel is committed to doing everything in our power to bring all of them home. And Israel will guarantee the safety of all those who return our hostages. But to those who would harm our hostages, I have another message. Israel will hunt you down and bring you to justice. The axis of terror that was built by Iran is collapsing before our eyes. Nasrallah is gone. His deputy Muhsin is gone. Haniyeh is gone. Def is gone. Sinwar is gone. The reign of terror that the Iranian regime has imposed on its own people and on the peoples of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, this too will come to an end. All those who seek a future of prosperity and peace in the Middle East should unite to build a better future. Together, we can push back the forces of darkness and create a future of light and hope for all of us.
האיש הזה תכנן, יזם, נתן פקודות, ביצע, ואני מניח שאם היינו משאירים אותו בחיים, הוא היה עושה את זה גם קדימה. אנחנו קצת אחרי ה7 באוקטובר וקצת לפני שמחת תורה, וב-11 ימים שבין השנה של הלוח העברי לבין השנה של הלוח הלועזי, אנחנו סוגרים חשבון עם סינואר שאחראי ליום המאוד מאוד קשה הזה שהיה לנו לפני שנה.
Welcome back. The Mysuru Urban Development Authority scam in Karnataka continues to haunt the state government, specifically the Chief Minister. A team of 12 ED officials raided the office today in connection with the land allotment case. ED officials also conducted a meeting with senior officials of MUDA, including the Commissioner. ED also raided the home of Devraj, the original owner of the 3.16 acres of land that Siddaramaiah has said was a gift to his wife by her brother. The Congress government is downplaying these raids. They say that instead of raking up allegations against the Chief Minister, the BJP should look at allegations that some of their own leaders face, including Union Minister Prahlad Joshi's family members. BJP has in turn accused the Congress of diverting the issue. They continue to gun for the Chief Minister's resignation. Now, this also comes after MUDA chief quit on instructions of the Chief Minister, raising suspicions as well. So, as the Enforcement Directorate probe gathers steam, what we want to ask is if the Chief Minister is who the ED comes for next.
ಈ ಕೇಸನ್ನ ಸಿಬಿಐಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಸಿಬಿಐ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕೇಸನ್ನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಾಕ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅನುಮಾನ ಇದೆ. ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಅಪರಾಧವಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷ ಬಂದ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Let's open this up. Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, continues. The BJP, your political rivals, many in the state of Karnataka, say that this raises suspicions.
Right. I mean, the entire case is based on allegations by the BJP. There is no solid proof of corruption. And when they talk about money laundering case, the money has not changed hands at all. So, well, we also look at the precedent of these cases. In 2011, when R. Ashok returned the sites that he had illegally acquired, there was a charge sheet against him and he returned the sites and the High Court dropped the case against him. Now, there are mere allegations against the Chief Minister. The BJP wants him to resign, and also they are talking about suspicions. The entire case is built on allegations and not a charge sheet. That is very suspicious for me. What is the intention of the BJP? Is it to destabilize an elected government, or is it to tarnish a leader's image who has an clean image throughout his career?
As far as the charge sheet demand is concerned, it's still preliminary stages.
Yes.
Is the investigation yet to complete, which is why perhaps we've not seen a charge sheet. So why not let law take its own course? And if the law then gives you a clean sheet, that just vindicates you further, isn't it?
Absolutely, you're correct. That is why the government of Karnataka had formed a judiciary probe committee to look into the allegations made by this private citizen. What we are talking about here is charge sheet has been filed against Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy. Charge sheet has been filed against multiple BJP leaders, but there has been no action at all by the judiciary or by the governor of Karnataka. But without any charge sheet against the CM of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaiah, there is an investigation that has been ordered. This is what we are concerned about. We are not concerned about being investigated because we know at the end of investigation, the CM is going to come out with a clean sheet. We are very confident about it. So we welcome this investigation. All we are saying is, why doesn't the same rule apply to the BJP and the JDS leaders? That's all.
Rohan Gupta, this is nothing but double standards. Or this is nothing but the BJP using central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate, and this is an allegation the BJP has faced on multiple other occasions.
See, Punam, the basic question is, wherever there is Congress government, why there are corruption charges? And if you see that this is not a simple case, the national president and the CM both are involved in the same thing. And if they have not done anything wrong, there is no point in returning the plots, because you know that when you are going to return the plots, their questions will be asked. So the questions are raised, and if they are so clean, they should not be bothered. Let the things come clean. Huh? Why are we questioning the agency? The agency's work is to, wherever the concerns are raised, they will investigate. The question here is larger question. The purpose for which these plots were allocated, right? Whether the people who got this plot, they fit in the criteria? No, they don't. So out of criteria, if something is given, there is something wrong, and that's why maybe I'm not sure why the MUDA chairman had resigned. But the questions will be raised. If the plots are written, if the chairman resigns, and if they are avoiding the inquiry, the questions will be raised. And again, I'm going to the core issue. You see that governments of Haryana where 10 years BJP is in power, there are no question of corruption. Why it happens that wherever there is Congress government, the serious corruption charges are against the senior leaders like CM and the national president. They have to come clean. And the first step towards that is returning of the plots. I think it raises the suspicions more.
Here, if I may respond, please.
Go ahead, Lavanya.
Yeah, I would like to say, for the CM's wife, who has never been seen by even the politicians in Karnataka, her husband's honor means much more to her than the sites that she justifiably deserves for her property being acquired, one. Secondly, I would also like to say, when you say about Haryana and other states where there is BJP and there is nothing like this, that is because the Congress and other opposition parties do not believe in making wild allegations, imaginary allegations against the BJP. It is only the BJP which makes wild allegations, and we have seen the conviction rate of the ED and other agencies in India after the allegations were made by the BJP. We ask the same thing. We are not scared of any investigation. When we talk about property given to Ms. Parvati Siddaramaiah, it was under the 50-50 scheme, which was launched by the BJP in the year 2022. The BJP was in power when it allocated 14 sites to her. Now we question, why did they bring the 50-50 scheme? And out of the sites allocated, it was not just 14 for Parvati. There were 300 more sites, 3,000 more sites that were allocated. Why is it that there is no investigation on those sites allocated? Is it because the sites were allocated to JDS and BJP leaders? Why is there a different kind of policy for the Congress and different policy for the BJP? Why is it that the same standards are not applied for all of them? Why is it that till date, H.D. Kumaraswamy, on whom there's a charge sheet from last few years for illegally occupying the site meant for public poor housing in Gangenhalli. Why is it there is no action by the governor?
But when the governor acted and when the governor gave prosecutional sanction, Lavanya Balal, that too was seen as him acting as the agent of the BJP.
It was only sanctioned last week. Why was it that it takes like 5 years for the governor to take action against that? There is a charge sheet by Lokayukta against H.D. Kumaraswamy. Why is it there is no action taken against him? Or the multiple BJP leaders?
Rohan Gupta, respond. Leaders of the BJP or your alliance partners or anybody who joins the BJP, their crimes are suddenly whitewashed. That's the allegation that the Congress makes in this case as well.
Poonam, the question is very, very simple. Are they questioning whether the corruption is done or not? Or are they questioning selective action? They should be very clean. If, number one, if there is nothing wrong, they should not be worried about the inquiry by ED or anybody in that matter. If there is something wrong, that's why they have returned the plots. They are questioning BJP. Action will be taken against everybody. But then you should not raise the political issue. If you are in if you are on the position, senior position like CM's wife, and it is not one plot, Poonam, it is 14 plots. Or you are the national president of a party, and the purpose for which the plots were there, that no due diligence properly followed, obviously the questions will be raised. If the process is not followed and something is even, obviously you have to give back. And again I am telling, if they are clean, they should not be worried about the inquiry. Either they question whether the inquiry is wrong because they have not done something wrong, or they can say, no, we have done and others have done, they should be also penalized. So they should be very, very clear in their narrative. Point here is, if you see the central message here, wherever there is Congress government, you will find the corruption issues coming on the floor. Wherever there is BJP government, they are sensitive. And let me tell one more thing. Wherever BJP governments were there, where the allegations were made by Congress party, wherever their governments came, whether it is Rajasthan, whether it is Madhya Pradesh, whether it is Chhattisgarh, you tell me which BJP leader they could find any accusations which were correct? No, because they were political accusations. So obviously there is a difference, Poonam, between political acquisitions and the real charges. And here they are worried because they know that there is substance in this complaint, and if the inquiry is done, they will have to face the challenge. And that's why they are returning the plots. That's why MUDA chairman had to resign. So these things are not simple. The consequences of the allegations are such that
Poonam, if I may respond quickly, I don't think Mr. Rohan Gupta is aware of the developments of the MUDA case in Karnataka. Let me make it very clear. The sites of MUDA was by the BJP government and not by the Congress. all actions, the denotification and every other action was done either by JDS CM or by the BJP CM. So there has been no involvement of the Congress party at all in the entire 50-50 scheme that the BJP government came to, had in Karnataka. One. Secondly, I think I'll have to remind you once again, we already have an judiciary inquiry going on about the allegations made about the MUDA side. So when we are talking about corruption, let me be very clear. The 40,000 crore scam committed by the BJP leaders in Karnataka, and the allegation was spilled into the public domain by the BJP senior leader himself. So there is an investigation going on. Let's not say, the great washing machine of the BJP will clean everybody. No, there are multiple scams that are being investigated in Karnataka. And let me make it very clear, none of the BJP leaders will go unscathed by these, scams. Whereas our CM, Mr. Siddaramaiah, Poonam, and let me make it very clear, he's going to come out of this entire allegations cooked up by the BJP unscathed. His image is not going to be tarnished.
Would we then see Lavanya Balal, the Chief Minister, also appear before the ED if required? Because we saw the MUDA offices being raided. The original owner of the land, he's being questioned. He's under the lens as well. So eventually, we are going to be seeing the investigation come towards the Chief Minister and his family.
Absolutely. When the investigation demands that the person who has been accused has to appear before the agency for investigation, of course, our CM and his wife will appear in front of the agencies. But it is very unfortunate. Parvati, who has not even attended her own husband's, swearing in a couple of times when he became the CM, is today forced into the public space because BJP has cooked up some kind of allegations against her.
But why was she forced? Why did she have to return the land?
If you look at her statement on the day when she returned the site, she said, the honor of my husband is much more important for me than the land I might lose. So her point is very simple. For me, my husband is much more important.
So it was a decision she took to come out in public, make that statement and release those plots back to MUDA. Why do you think she was forced to do any of it?
The statement was made by her advocates to the public domain. Ms. Parvati's site was taken by the MUDA, and she's not been compensated for the site that she's been, that has been taken from her. She's justified in asking for compensation, but the BJP believes she should not be asking for compensation at all.
But the allegation, Lavanya Balal, is that what compensation you say is justifiably deserved was way out of proportion.
We are not saying it is justified. The 14 sites are justified. All we are saying is the compensation she received from BJP government. She didn't receive it from the Congress. She received it from the BJP government. What was the BJP government doing? 25 people sit in the MUDA board, right? 25 people. It is not one person. 25 people sit, including JDS, BJP members and the officers sit in the MUDA committee. So what were they all thinking when they rewarded one person 14 sites? Let me remind you once again, it is not just Parvati. There are 200 other people who have also received the sites in the similar fashion. Why isn't there an investigation about it?
Rohan Gupta, it was the BJP government under which these plots were assigned. The Congress in fact says that when Mr. Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister, he in fact decided to not get into this because it would have been a conflict of interest.
Obviously, it is a conflict of interest, right? See, once I think the spokesperson of the Congress party says that Parvati, she is not in public domain and she is holding 14 plots. See, the idea, it's not about the questioning the scheme. The idea is the criteria of allotment. If you see Mr. Kharge's son, I think, who has been allotted, what is the purpose of that plot? It is upliftment of, I think, SC community. Is that, do you fit in that criteria? That is most crucial question. It is about the process of allotment which is not been followed. And again, my central question is very, very simple, Poonam. If you are sure that, okay, everything is proper, the allotment is proper, then there is a question of pride in returning the plot. You should in fact stand, strong and fight it out that no, it is perfectly as per the policy. Why should I return the plot? If I have done nothing wrong, if everything as per policy, I have followed all the norms, the money is paid properly, why should I return my plots? In fact, that raises the question. If absolutely, if it is political, it would have come in clean.
Right. Lavanya Balal, last 30 seconds, please. I don't have much time left.
Yes. Yeah. The BJP refuses to answer the question, why did they bring up the 50-50 scheme? Why did they reward Parvati with 14 sites? Were they intent on creating a scam? Or if they have committed a scam, how many other people are the recipients of these sites like this? It is the BJP which must be answering all of these questions.
Well, the jury is out on that as far as whether these corruption allegations against Mr. Siddaramaiah and his family stick or not. The Enforcement Directorate is investigating. There is a parallel investigation that is being conducted as well. Truth will eventually prevail. That is the hope. On that note, I thank you both for joining us here on this edition of Plain Speak and sharing your perspective. We are shifting focus to the conflict in West Asia. The leadership of Hamas has been eliminated, says Israel. But what does this mean for the region and for the world? Earlier today, I spoke with the Member of Parliament of Israel, Ms. Haskell. Listen in to what she had to say. You know, this is
Hello, good evening.
A big development as far as the war against Hamas is concerned. The leadership has been completely wiped out by the IDF. Is this the end of Israel's fight against terror group?
Well, it really depends on the continuation. I mean, not all of its leadership has been eliminated, but the monstrous, monsters who actually committed crimes against humanity, against our people. And that's a clear message that we will hunt our enemies, those monsters who are capable of committing such atrocities, such horrifying actions. We will hunt them and we will bring them in. And with that message, I hope it resonates among other Hamas activists who might think about taking up a leadership in this terrorist organization, not to do it. What we need to do in order to finish the war in Gaza is for them to bring back our family members that are being held captive as hostages in those dungeons of torture. We are waiting for our babies, for our sisters, our cousins, our parents, our grandparents who are being held in Gaza, being tortured, being sexually abused, physically abused. And when they come back home, that's when this episode can be behind us and we'll be able to start healing.
Ms. Haskell, like you said, the focus is now going to be on ensuring that all of those being held hostages for over a year now, they are released. But is there a plan of how that's going to happen? Because we've seen the kind of offensive that the IDF, that Israel has led against Hamas for over a year now. But unfortunately, the whereabouts of those hostages is still unknown.
Well, this is a very difficult and complex situation, obviously. And trust me, if there was a good deal on the table, we would have taken it. There's two ways to bring them back home. One is a deal that will ensure all of them coming back home alive, whoever is still alive, to bring them back. And then by a diplomatic agreement, we can do that. But time after time, Hamas leadership refused. And so the other option is to go and get them ourselves. We cannot leave them in Gaza. And so these two options are only on the table. I hope that the people who are now holding our family members in their homes, in their dungeons, in those tunnels, will rise up, will come, will surrender, and will bring them back to us. If they will do that, this episode can end peacefully and calmly. But if not, we will make sure we will go and get them.
את לוריאל גרופ. DNA מעביר למאגר משטרת ישראל, למאגר DNA. בשני המקרים אנחנו מוצאים התאמה ליחיא סינואר, ככה שיש לנו בעצם גם DNA, גם טביעת אצבע וגם שיניים של יחיא סינואר. כל הנתונים האלה מצויים בידי משטרת ישראל ובידי שב"ס, ולמעשה אנחנו משתמשים בנתונים קודמים על מנת להשוות.
שיהיה לכם דרך הצלחה ושאר כוח על הכל.
תודה, דרום אחד, רות הישר, יוצאים לדרך. טוב, אנחנו פה יוצאים למבצע שצריך להגיד, סגירת מעגל עם, שכולנו תקווה, עם רב המרצחים שטבח בבני עמנו לפני כשנה בדיוק, בחג הסוכות, בכמה סימבולי, שלשמחתנו הרבה, לוחמינו האמיצים, חיסלו אותו בעזה בחג הזה. אנחנו מכאן יוצאים למבצע שנקרא הקפה ראשונה. המבצע הוא בעצם ליווי, הבטחה של כוחותינו, שמירה ומבחינתנו מוכנות. כולנו פה שותפים למשימה לאומית וחשובה מאוד, ומכאן אנחנו יוצאים לדרך.
Today, the mastermind of this day of sheer evil is no more. Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages. Hamas is holding 101 hostages in Gaza who are citizens of 23 countries, citizens of Israel, but citizens of many other countries. Israel is committed to doing everything in our power to bring all of them home. And Israel will guarantee the safety of all those who return our hostages. But to those who would harm our hostages, I have another message. Israel will hunt you down and bring you to justice. The axis of terror that was built by Iran is collapsing before our eyes. Nasrallah is gone. His deputy Muhsin is gone. Haniyeh is gone. Def is gone. Sinwar is gone. The reign of terror that the Iranian regime has imposed on its own people and on the peoples of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, this too will come to an end. All those who seek a future of prosperity and peace in the Middle East should unite to build a better future. Together, we can push back the forces of darkness and create a future of light and hope for all of us.
האיש הזה תכנן, יזם, נתן פקודות, ביצע, ואני מניח שאם היינו משאירים אותו בחיים, הוא היה עושה את זה גם קדימה. אנחנו קצת אחרי ה7 באוקטובר וקצת לפני שמחת תורה, וב-11 ימים שבין השנה של הלוח העברי לבין השנה של הלוח הלועזי, אנחנו סוגרים חשבון עם סינואר שאחראי ליום המאוד מאוד קשה הזה שהיה לנו לפני שנה.
DNA מעביר למאגר משטרת ישראל למאגר DNA, בשני המקרים אנחנו מוצאים התאמה ליחיא סינואר, ככה שיש לנו בעצם גם DNA, גם טביעת אצבע וגם שיניים של יחיא סינואר. כל הנתונים האלה מצויים בידי משטרת ישראל ובידי שב"ס, ולמעשה אנחנו משתמשים בנתונים קודמים על מנת להשוות.
שיהיה לכם דרך הצלחה ושאר כוח על הכל.
תודה, דרום אחד, רות הישר, יוצאים לדרך. טוב, אנחנו פה יוצאים למבצע שצריך להגיד, סגירת מעגל עם, שכולנו תקווה עם רב המרצחים שטבח בבני עמנו לפני כשנה בדיוק, בחג הסוכות, בכמה סימבולי, שלשמחתנו הרבה, לוחמינו האמיצים חיסלו אותו בעזה בחג הזה. אנחנו מכאן יוצאים למבצע שנקרא הקפה ראשונה. המבצע הוא בעצם ליווי, הבטחה של כוחותינו, שמירה ומבחינתנו מוכנות. כולנו פה שותפים למשימה לאומית וחשובה מאוד, ומכאן אנחנו יוצאים לדרך.
Today, the mastermind of this day of sheer evil is no more. Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages. Hamas is holding 101 hostages in Gaza who are citizens of 23 countries, citizens of Israel, but citizens of many other countries. Israel is committed to doing everything in our power to bring all of them home. And Israel will guarantee the safety of all those who return our hostages. But to those who would harm our hostages, I have another message. Israel will hunt you down and bring you to justice. The axis of terror that was built by Iran is collapsing before our eyes. Nasrallah is gone. His deputy Muhsin is gone. Haniyeh is gone. Def is gone. Sinwar is gone. The reign of terror that the Iranian regime has imposed on its own people and on the peoples of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, this too will come to an end. All those who seek a future of prosperity and peace in the Middle East should unite to build a better future.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. The US Justice Department has announced criminal charges against Vikas Yadav, an Indian government employee. That's what they claim. And has accused him of allegedly orchestrating a failed plot to kill Gurpatwant Panun. Now, Bharat has immediately said that it is cooperating with the United States on charges levelled against an Indian national in the plot to kill Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Panun, who resides in New York City. Top sources have said no such individual was working with the Indian intelligence agencies as was being claimed